Well, good hump day, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods here. Today, before I hit the road, are the Dallas Cowboys still the favorites to win the NFC East, or have the Giants, Washington, and the Eagles done enough to surpass them? But man, I'm tired. I didn't get to sleep till after 1 o'clock this morning, working with the machine, and then got up before 6 and varnishing these pieces because people want stuff before Mother's Day, and I want to do everything I can to make sure that we take care of Mom. So in case you did not remember, Sunday is Mother's Day, and by all means, you must take care of Mama, okay? So make sure you go out there, get something for Mom. If you can't be there, make sure you call, send a video chat, do something. Try and let her know that without her, your ass wouldn't be here today. So, the Dallas Cowboys, we have been trashed all off season. We've heard guys like Colin Cowherd say, I don't think that the Cowboys are the top 15 team, that they suck, they don't do anything in free agency, that everybody else in the division has gotten better, that, the Cowboys are just ass. They're ass. And what I tell you is going to happen? By the time we get to training camp, we're going to hear that the Dallas Cowboys have so much talent. Oh, the Cowboys, they're loaded. They're so talented. If they don't make the Super Bowl, then they're a disappointment. They do this to us every year. We should understand that we go through cycles, that at the end of the season, the Dallas Cowboys, talented team, they've disappointed. It's been 20 blank blank years since they've won the Super Bowl. Ha, they're the worst team in football. Come free agency, they don't know what they're doing. They're idiots. They haven't gotten better. Look at everybody else with all the shiny new pieces and everything else. The Dallas Cowboys, they're awful. They're the worst and everything, right? Then we go through the draft, and of course, everybody's trying to steal Jerry Jones's list, and that's when it starts to turn. After the draft, they start to turn, and all of a sudden, they change the narrative from the Dallas Cowboys being the worst.
Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this. Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers.
Dan Orlowski.
We'll fit them into
It's so bad. How bad is it that they have to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because they know the Cowboys are the moneymaker? Ian Rappaport literally said that the Tennessee Titans, they moved up to take Willis as a quarterback. I just wonder if they moved up because they were thinking the Cowboys were going to take them, and we need to jump up there. Didn't mention the other two teams that they jumped that are actually quarterback needy. That, no, it must be the Cowboys that are looking for a quarterback. And FYI, I'm not sure Ryan Tannehill has definitely made any friends in the front office. With Malik Willis being there, he was asked if he's going to help mentor Willis. His response is, my job is not to mentor Willis. If he happens to learn something from watching me, well, so be it. Whew. Salty much? So much for being the team player, but, most NFL players don't like draft time if you're not being drafted. Because what that is that's the young guy that's coming in to take your job. I wonder how Tyron Smith feels right now because, Tyler Smith, TS, same initials. Jerry Jones has already said he looks like you. They're already talking about he's going to replace you eventually. That starts you to think, is eventually right now? it kind of puts you back a bit, kind of makes you a little edgy, makes you a little salty, and starts to make you realize that the end is near. And that's what Ryan Tannehill's feeling. So now that, of course, the Dallas Cowboys were told the Cowboys, they're talented. Oh, man, they got some great coaches and stuff. Let's go through the post-draft rankings. I'm going to run it down to the first team in our division. The New York stinking Giants. Do I need to go through the Giants? Now, they got some good players on defense, but they still have Daniel Jones. And the guy I've been saying for a couple of years and have been told that, you're wrong, Bark. You're wrong. Barkley is not a bust. Well, it seems like he's always busting something on the field and can't seem to stay on the field, though, can he? So after that, we all figured that the Giants are the worst team in the division. We know, new coach, new philosophy, they're fire selling the team. I mean, hell, they're taking their number one draft pick and they were shopping him around from last year. That lets you know that we're looking at moving on at dead weight, we're cutting the fat, and we're starting over. So we know that they're supposed to be there. But then we have what Colin Cowherd said is the Eagles winning the division. The Eagles, because they got the best quarterback in the division in Carson Wentz. That's what they said. So who's going to be next? Is it going to be Washington? Or is it going to be the Eagles? Is it going to be the Cowboys? So we go from 24, and let's start moving. What? The Washington Commanders. They have a 23? Wait a minute. But didn't they get Carson Wentz? Didn't they just get Dotson, another wide receiver, a new weapon for Carson Wentz? Here we go again in Washington. Last year, the Commanders hoped that Ryan Fitzpatrick would get them over the proverbial hump. That didn't end well. First game, it ended. First game. This year, they have turned to the offense over to Carson Wentz after acquiring the 29-year-old in a trade with the Indianapolis Colts. Despite the trade, Washington was still sitting on a fair amount of draft capital, including the 16th overall, and traded back. The team used that to select and find number 2 receiver the team lackluster, blah, 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 blah. So in theory, Terry McLaurin could constitute a formidable duo of wide receivers. Yeah, okay. All right, so then we go to Vikings. Then we go to New Orleans, and somewhere in here should be the Cowboys, the way they've been trashed. New England, okay. Pittsburgh Steelers, okay. The Cowboys got to be here someplace close. Miami Dolphins. Wait a minute. With Tyreek Hill and all those guys? Cedric Wilson? They got Miami that far back? What? Wait a minute. Hold it. The Eagles, they only have 17? After getting Jordan Davis and Dean and all these guys? Wait a minute. Hold up. The Philadelphia Eagles made some serious noise in the 22 draft. It wasn't so much the players they drafted, although first-round pick Jordan Davis, a mauling defensive tackle from Georgia, and second-round Cam the Beef Jurgensen, a center from Nebraska. No headline grabbers was filled up. No, the headline grabbers was Tennessee brought in A.J. Brown to the city of cheesesteak, with Brown joining fellow wide receiver Devontae Smith and tight end Dallas Goddard. The third-year quarterback Jalen Hurts has an impressive array of passing game weapons. He's also fresh out of excuses if he can't produce. Okay. But 17? Okay, so we know that Cowboys got to be like 16 or 15, somewhere close in. Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns, Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco. San Francisco? Wait a minute. They're rated higher than San Francisco? Okay. Where are the hell are the Cowboys? Tennessee Titans? What? The Raiders? Hold on. How are we higher than the Raiders? They just got Devontae Adams. The Colts? They got Matty Ice. Wait. You're telling me the Cowboys are at least Denver with Russell? Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Did I miss them? Were they behind the Giants? Hold up. Dallas Cowboys. How can that be? How can the Dallas Cowboys be in the top 10 after the way they were trashed about their lack of production? How we've heard Colin Cowherd say that Carson Wentz is the best quarterback in the division and that the best quarterbacks always win. And the Cowboys are like half of that 17? Wow. The Dallas Cowboys enter the 22 season the exact same way as every season. Super Bowl or bust. I don't know why they always say we're Super Bowl or bust, and nobody else is. I think it should be Super Bowl or bust for everybody. But what do I know? On paper, at least, the Cowboys look the best team in a weak division, but there's still areas for concern, multiple areas of concern. Dallas spotted the best offensive line in the NFL last year, which is bullshit. This is where they get you. The Dallas sported the best offensive line in the NFL last year, per Pro Football Focus. Anybody out there honestly believe that the Dallas Cowboys had the best offensive line in football? Having Lyle Collins for 6 games, having to try Connor McGovern instead of Connor Williams, Tyler Badish, and then Tyron Smith being injured most of the season. Whoever says that the Dallas Cowboys sported the best offensive line in football is smoking crack. Seriously.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
But they lost 2 starters of free agency in left guard Connor Williams and right tackle Lyle Collins. First-round pick Tyler Smith could be viewed as a replacement for Collins, but the NFL readiness isn't certain. Neither is Ole Miss edge rusher Sam Williams, who will replace Randy Gregory, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you see my point here. You see my point. They're giving you a line of bullshit, and people will follow up and say, well, the Cowboys had the best offensive line in football. There's no way they had the best offensive line in football. And if you actually read the article that Pro Football Focus took, they went through and they said, well, if you take Lyle Collins and you take Connor Williams and Badish and Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, but that group of guys only played 5 games together. Cowboys had 13 different lineups on the offensive line. There was no consistency with them. But be that as it may, I'm going to go to Rich Eisen and see what Rich Eisen, because Rich Eisen is more fair and balanced than anybody else.
Quarterback-driven league, and the one thing we heard at the Combine, and that's not the royal we, it's me and Daniel Jeremiah and everybody else on the NFL Network, and the sense that we got was Carson Wentz was out of Indianapolis come you-know-what or high water. That was it. When we asked Frank Reich about Carson Wentz on the final day of the NFL Scouting Combine, the Sunday before we all left to start the new league year just a week later, asked him about Carson Wentz, and his answer was, at the time when we acquired him, we thought it was the right thing to do. That's what he said about his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Banner, right, former Eagles executive, said that's now not 1 but 2 teams that sent him packing and at a detriment to their bottom line.
Yeah. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm is like, this is it, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
You get no more
I
chances.
don't know what it is. I mean,
They have a good team.
but he did.
Washington
if
has
you
good
notice his
weapons.
point, his first answer was what we liked when we traded for him was seeing his teammates saying, "Great job, Carson. See you.
Right.
Good luck to you down the road."
Maybe they were happy to see him go.
I don't know what's going on with
I
that.
don't know. It's weird.
I don't know what is going on with that.
Because you watch, the games, he does a lot of, man, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Whoa, what a throw.
Well, they didn't consider Baker Mayfield as
Big
first
arm.
split second, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they went and they were on Wentz before, and Wentz created that opportunity that Baker was supposed to be all over there.
And Sam Howell, like you talked about, he was maybe the top quarterback.
Daniel thinks that he can.
After last year.
Daniel thinks that he can show like if Wentz gets hurt and he's got to go in there, that he can do it.
I think we're going to see him play this year.
You don't think they hit him with the Heineke first?
You know what you got in him, though, right?
You're not concerned, right? Over there,
About the Washington football team?
it's the Commanders.
Okay, there you
Washington
go.
football team. I'm concerned about this Eagles draft, and I'm trying to talk myself into
You're
it wasn't
all
that
right.
good.
Dallas Cowboys' greatest concern.
There you go. Let's tweet that out.
Dallas Cowboys greatest
Is that what we're
concern.
going to do?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Dallas Cowboys' greatest concern.
Which
Jordan
team?
Davis.
I'd have to say the team.
Choices are Eagles,
Uh-huh.
Commanders,
Uh-huh.
Giants, themselves.
I was going to say that, too. I was going to say themselves.
Biggest concern? I would say the team in Philadelphia.
That's your poll question.
Right now.
Cowboys' greatest concern
Giants.
in the NFC East.
Commanders.
Giants, Commanders, Eagles, themselves.
Definitely.
I think themselves wins by a wide margin. A wide margin.
How so?
The coach who called into this show and he's like, "Yeah, that was kind of awkward with Dan Quinn. We had to have a conversation to say we're cool with this, right? Because." And then he speaks to Jerry Jones to say, "What are you talking about?" At the Senior Bowl,
Look, he was
saying stuff,
scouting and things.
saying stuff like, great coordinators stay here because they think they can be in line to be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing Jerry does.
The way that the season ended, that sort of stuff.
So I mean, what's your
The
point?
way that Randy Gregory says I'm coming back, but not. The way that Amari Cooper gets sent out and Cedric Wilson gets sent out, and you're wondering who's this kid from Tulsa? Like all of that. Like how are we going to get better? And here comes a kid from Tulsa.
Yeah, he could be great. I don't know. But that wasn't the question.
Themselves.
Micah Parsons suddenly not knowing how to drop a puck.
Oh,
Well, that has nothing to do with his
red flag.
vocation.
Red flag. Red flag.
I don't know.
No, I mean the Philly, man. They on paper they got significantly better.
better.
But we're
As
gonna
they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
But you got to see always. I like you always say, you don't win anything in April.
That's true.
Super Bowl's not won.
You're right about that.
Day after
Absolutely
the
correct.
draft or the week after the draft, and we still won 13 games last year.
If Carson Wentz can actually play like the Carson Wentz who got hurt diving into the end zone in the LA Coliseum the year that they won it all, if that Carson Wentz shows up and the Carson Wentz that played between weeks 3 and 15 of
You're
this
oddly
NFL
specific
season.
on all this.
Well,
man.
because those are I'm giving you the best of the Carson Wentz years.
Well, like I said, if you got to break it down to like specific weeks and years, then you're not going to get what you're looking
That's the
for.
problem with you when you're trying to acquire Carson Wentz and say this is our championship quarterback. We're going to win a championship here. We're going to bring it home to Washington, D.C., where this franchise is all over the map. We're going to bring him in. He's going to be the calming influence on the field weeks 1 through 17, and then we're going to go on a deep run with Carson Wentz. This is going to be his spot finally after the revolving door.
Good
They
luck
kept
with
on
that.
Kicking him out to different places. He's our guy. And so if that guy can show up, and then the running game, right, shows up, and McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and Dotson. They still have Logan Thomas, right, the tight end whenever he's healthy, and he started becoming a beast.
He was beasting last
Right?
year.
A lot of ifs in that is all.
And defensively, they start
running back.
tightening up, and Chase Young doesn't get hurt. And that defensive line's no joke. I'm giving you the best of the Washington Commanders. Eagles definitely still scare you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Evan Neal comes and helps protect Daniel Jones, who starts blossoming
Oh, Lordy. Do we even talk about the Giants?
because of the weapons they have around him, and Dable knows how to position him.
What weapons did the Giants have on offense again?
Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay whenever he's friggin' healthy, Saquon Barkley whenever he's friggin' healthy.
Yeah, again, I'm more worried about the Philadelphia team.
Yeah, Eagles.
Does Kayvon Thibodeau play offense?
I don't know. Let's see.
Let's hope not.
He definitely won't.
It's going to come down to the Eagles and the Cowboys.
At Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. It's going to come down to the Cowboys and the Eagles, more than likely. And we'll see where that goes. But again, it's still really, really early. We still have the third wave of free agency, but you see how the worm has already turned that now the Cowboys, best team in the division, all that talent, so on. And by the training camp, they'll have us in the top 5, and then, of course, we'll say odds-on Super Bowl favorite. So that's all I got for you guys this morning. I'm going to get up here, get the truck loaded, and hit the road.
Our coach here, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting,